Supported mom for years, kicked out when sister returned with kidnapped kid, then begged for help. 5 years ago, my older sister Jackie, then 20, ran away with her deadbeat boyfriend, let's call him Scott, who was 21 and had flunked out of college. They'd been together since high school, about 5 years at that point, and were practically glued to each other. Our family never liked Scott, he was always getting into trouble. School wasn't his thing, and by high school, he was into some bad habits and messing around with stuff he shouldn't have. My parents kept pushing Jackie to dump him, but she was head over heels and didn't care that he was bad news. No matter how much we argued about it, she stuck with him. Then, 5 years ago, my dad had a massive heart attack and passed away. I was only 19, and it felt like my whole world collapsed. Even after that, Jackie didn't spend any less time with Scott. If anything, she doubled down. She even brought him to Dad's funeral, knowing full well we didn't get along with him. He showed up completely wasted. That was the last straw for Mom and me. We told Jackie we were done putting up with her choices, she had to pick, us or Scott. Since we said we'd cut her off financially if she stayed with him, she chose him and just took off. We haven't heard from her since. She went no contact, and that was that. After Dad died, I decided to skip college and start working to support the family. Mom had always been a stay-at-home mom, and while she offered to get a job, like as a secretary, to help pay for my education, I didn't want that. We'd always had a comfortable life, and I didn't want to give that up. Plus, my dad started working at 18 without a college degree and made it work, so I figured I could too. I believed in myself. I started with a low-paying internship, worked my way up, and now I've got a stable job in sales. I'd say I've managed to maintain the lifestyle Dad set for us. His life insurance money helped us get by when I was earning less, and Mom was a huge help early on, taking care of the house so I could focus on work. We made it work, and for the past 5 years, we've been doing alright. Sure, we missed Jackie, but there wasn't much we could do about it. Deep down, I always knew Mom missed Jackie the most. Jackie was her favorite growing up, not that Mom ever treated me badly, but you could tell she had a soft spot for her older daughter. When Jackie left, it broke Mom's heart, and I got that. She stopped talking about her, acting like she didn't exist. It was just the two of us, and I got used to it. But then, about 10 days ago, Jackie showed up at our doorstep after 5 years, with a little boy who looked about 3 or 4. Mom and I were both home when they arrived. I peeked through the peephole and was floored. Mom didn't even ask me before flinging the door open. I let it slide because I could see how emotional she was, equal parts worried and overjoyed. She's a mom, after all. She hugged Jackie tight and welcomed her and the boy, who Jackie said was her son, into the house. They looked awful. Jackie was half the size she used to be, like she'd been starving. Their clothes were dirty, old, and patched up weirdly. Their hair was greasy, like they hadn't showered in ages. Jackie, who was always curvy, looked gaunt, skin and bones with bags under her eyes. It was heartbreaking to see her like that after 5 years. It was obvious they'd been living rough. I had my doubts about letting them in, but I couldn't blame Mom for opening the door. She instantly forgot all the pain Jackie caused and started comforting them, sensing they'd been through hell. Jackie explained that after she and Scott ran off, life was brutal. He'd flunked out of college, she dropped out too, and they had no one to help them find work. I had it easier, I used family connections to land my first gig, but Jackie had nothing. They were scraping by, barely eating. They eventually found low-paying jobs, but they could never climb out of poverty like I did. Things got worse after their son was born. She and Scott started fighting a lot, and a couple of weeks ago, he cheated on her and kicked her out. With nowhere else to go, she came back home, begging for forgiveness and a chance to reconnect. I wanted to talk it over with Mom first, but before I could say anything, she told Jackie she didn't need to worry anymore, they were home, and she'd take care of them. I was stunned. I was the one paying the bills, so this affected me directly, and we hadn't discussed it. Jackie looked so happy that I didn't want to ruin the moment, but later, when she and the kid went to clean up, I pulled Mom aside. I asked if she was serious about this. We hadn't heard from Jackie in 5 years, and we didn't know how she'd ended up like this. She said they'd been working, so they should have had some money to live decently. But their appearance? It screamed something else, maybe drugs or some shady stuff. I didn't trust letting Jackie back into our lives so fast without knowing more, especially if she was mixed up in something illegal. Mom didn't want to hear it. She said Jackie was back after 5 years, and it was our duty as a family to help her. She didn't care what Jackie had done, she was home, which meant she wanted to turn her life around. If she didn't, she wouldn't have come back. Mom thought my suspicion was unfair and insisted we couldn't turn our backs on her. It made sense in a way, so I agreed to give Jackie a chance, even though I wasn't fully on board. But 2 days later, while Jackie was job hunting and her kid was napping, Mom sat me down. She dropped a bomb. She wanted me to move out and get my own place now that Jackie was back. I was floored. Her logic? The house only has 2 bedrooms. For the past 2 days, she'd been sleeping on the couch because Jackie and the kid took her room. So, her solution was for me to leave and start living on my own. I suggested maybe Jackie and her kid could sleep in the living room, but Mom shot that down. She wanted them to feel welcomed and said she'd already promised them her room. I was hurt. After supporting her for 5 years, being there through everything, she was basically kicking me out to make room for her favorite daughter. It felt like a betrayal. Instead of hearing me out, Mom accused me of being jealous of Jackie. She said she always knew I had issues with her, but acting like this was unacceptable. She even said I'd had her to myself for years, so I should be fine now and make this small sacrifice for Jackie and her kid, who'd been through horrible things. That turned into a huge fight. I packed my stuff and left that same day. It's been a few days since then. I'm crashing at a friend's place because finding an apartment isn't that quick. But it looks like I might have to deal with Mom again because of what happened 4 days ago. After I left, I went no contact with Mom. I was furious and put her on silent mode, blocking Jackie too. I didn't want to hear from either of them or know what was going on. Then, 4 days ago, Mom called me in tears. I got worried and picked up. She told me the police showed up at the house and arrested Jackie, and now Mom might be under investigation too. I was shocked. I had a bad feeling about Jackie, but I didn't expect an arrest. Then Mom dropped the real bombshell: the kid Jackie brought home wasn't hers. He was Scott's son, but not with Jackie. She'd kidnapped him to get back at Scott or something. It was insane. Mom explained that the boy was Scott's kid with the woman he cheated on Jackie with. When Scott kicked Jackie out, she was so angry that she took the kid, who's only 3 and didn't even understand what was happening. She apparently told him they were going to Disneyland and threatened him to keep quiet, or he'd never see home again. The police had been looking for her but couldn't track her down since she didn't even have a phone. Thank God they found her. I told Mom she should have talked to me before letting Jackie and the kid into our house. Now she's caught up in this mess, and even if the cops don't suspect her, since we hadn't spoken to Jackie in years, her reputation could take a hit if this gets out. Mom called to beg for my help finding a lawyer to prove she had nothing to do with it. I agreed to help, but only for her, and only if she cut contact with Jackie. Jackie put our whole family in a terrible position, and I wasn't about to forgive that. But Mom said that was unfair. Jackie's still family, and she expected me to help her too, like by testifying against Scott in court to save her. That's when we had a massive fight over the phone. I'm not helping Jackie lie or go against my conscience. What she did was unhinged. Kidnapping a kid because your hurt doesn't justify endangering your family. Mom called me jealous and insecure again, saying she wished she'd raised a more compassionate son. She made me out to be the villain. Now I'm seriously questioning if she's right. I feel awful and don't know what to do. Update 1, it's been 3 days since I posted this. After reading your comments and thinking it over, I decided to do my duty for Mom and connected her with a great lawyer. But I made it clear that if she wants the lawyer to represent Jackie too, I'll ask them to refuse. My obligation is to Mom, not Jackie. She abandoned our family years ago, and I don't feel any need to help or justify her actions anymore. If Mom wants to help her, that's her choice, but I'm out. I can't believe Mom tried to guilt trip me and paint me as the bad guy for not wanting to help my sister, who, let's be real, kidnapped a child. That was so unfair, but what's done is done. I'm still at my friend's place, looking for an apartment. I know Mom won't go to jail. She had nothing to do with this, and everyone knows we hadn't spoken to Jackie in 5 years. Still, I worry about her. Despite our fight, she's all I've got left after Dad died. Our relationship means a lot to me, but I don't know. The lawyer I found is amazing. She's got tons of experience getting people out of situations like this, and she even cut her fee for me because I'm friends with her brother from work. For now, I'm not talking to Mom. She hasn't reached out since that call, not even to thank me after the lawyer took her case. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm just hoping she comes around. Update 2, the trial against Jackie has started, and it's going to be rough for Mom. I'm pretty sure watching her favorite daughter go through this will be tough. She hasn't tried to contact me since our last call, even though she's working with the lawyer I found. I thought she'd at least say thanks, but nada. I've done my part, and she's made it clear she doesn't want me in her life right now. She recently blocked me on Facebook and even my phone number. I found out when I tried calling to ask why she was cutting me off. I could have called from another phone, but what's the point? She doesn't want to talk or share what's going on. Message received. I told the lawyer to stop updating me on the case. My job was just to connect them, and I'm done. On a brighter note, I found an apartment. The rent's steep, but since I don't have to support Mom anymore, I think I can swing it. I was worried about how she'd manage without my help, but since she kicked me out and cut me off, I figure she's got it covered. I hope she doesn't come asking for money later because, after how she treated me, I'm done supporting her. I'm excited to move out of my friend's place soon. He's been great, saying I can stay as long as I need, but I've overstayed my welcome. I need my own space to process everything that's happened these past few weeks. It's been a lot, and I haven't fully wrapped my head around it. I might take a couple of days off work to just chill and sort through my thoughts. Update 3, it's been 2 months since Jackie's trial started. They quickly proved Mom had no involvement and didn't know the kid wasn't Jackie's. She and the lawyer cleared her name, and the charges against her were dropped. The lawyer passed on that Mom wanted to thank me, which stung because she could have called me herself. Even after 2 months, she hasn't reached out to talk. I don't get why she's still mad when it's clear Jackie was in the wrong, and I was right not to help her. I really want to talk to her and clear the air, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Since the lawyer's message, I've been torn. Things are going okay for me. I've got a solid job, a promotion coming up, and I've been living in my new apartment for a couple of months. It's nice, though a bit lonely. I even started dating someone, and things are moving along. But I miss Mom so much. I know a lot of you said she's toxic and I should steer clear, but she's my mom. After Dad died, she was the only one who really got my pain. We went through so much together. I think the least I can do is talk to her one more time, in person, not over the phone. I'm seriously considering reaching out to meet up. Update 4, a lot of you encouraged me to talk to Mom if I miss her so much, at least to get some closure. After a couple more days of thinking, I decided to call her. I noticed she'd unblocked me, and she picked up almost right away. We talked and agreed to meet the next day at the house. When I got there, she greeted me with a big hug and started crying the second she saw me. She said she was so sorry for how she treated me, admitting she lost her head when Jackie came back after all those years and acted like a complete fool. I didn't even have to defend myself. She owned up to being wrong and said everything I'd warned her about was true. She begged for my forgiveness, saying I'm all she has left and that her soft spot for Jackie blinded her. She didn't see how unstable Jackie had become. The trial showed her that Jackie wasn't just hurting herself but dragging the whole family down, and I was right not to help her or stay in contact. Mom shared that she struggled to get pregnant with Jackie, which is probably why she always saw her as special. But she realizes now that was a mistake and she shouldn't have treated me the way she did. When she said she wants to work on herself and rebuild our relationship, I was genuinely happy. I know it's not about money. She's been supported by my uncle and even got a remote job at his company. So, I believe she's sincere about fixing things. Still, we decided to keep living separately. Living alone has given me a new sense of independence, and I can't stay in the family home forever. I need to build my own life. So, we're going to stay in touch and see how things go over the next few months. I'm hopeful we can make it work. That's the story, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for sticking with me through this wild ride. Check out our previous video linked below, and see you in the next one.